Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Blues TV. I hope you guys are doing well. It's a great time to be back here to, kind of do this again with you guys. Just to review the game against Brentford. It's been a while that we've done this, guys. I'm so happy to be back here, to be honest. I just feel like we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to connect. We need to talk about the game. It's been international break, to be honest. For me, I can't really say this, but I feel like I don't really like international breaks because to me, I feel like it's just like a breakdown between the continuation of the way the league is going, and of course players have to go back to the nationals, and of course, and we've all known that this is one of the things that we don't really like because most of the times player get in trouble. Some of the players goes on injury. To be honest with you, I've not really seen any time that the players goes back to international break without having someone injured. I don't know. This is a tradition or something, but honestly, it's just what it is, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really like international break. To be honest, but it is what it is. We can't complain. It's something that just have to happen. To be honest, players can't run away from attending international break. Of course, everyone wants to play for their country. It's a special joy, to be honest, to be part of international break. But like I said, to me, I feel like it's a breakthrough. Between the league and of course, it's a different feelings, to be honest. And when you see in just a couple of days, players have to travel. Some players have to travel as far as 8 9 hours on the flight, which to me is crazy. It's crazy, and some of them have to play two games in a couple of days, which I feel like it's just too much. It's too much. But it is what it is. It has been, this way, for a long time, and players just need to adapt to it. So Chelsea, Brentford versus Chelsea on Saturday night, game week 4, another game to go to see, where we are in the Premier League to prove another performance. To me, I think uh, it's another game to just win, honestly, because I feel like we need to start well. We've started well, to be honest. We kind of win two game, draw one, which I feel like is not a bad result so far. Uh, I think it's only Liverpool that have won the three games, I think, and everyone has dropped points from the table. But realistically, having gained 7 points in three games to me still looks very more realistic, to be honest. But it won't be as much realistic as to keep that consistency going, to be honest. Brentford is another game to approach on Saturday. To be honest, I'm not happy with the timing. We have to play on Saturday night, which to me I feel like is awkward. Weekend games are meant to be played in the noon, but it is what it is. We have to go into the game, which I believe is just have to go into the game with a straight and direct mentality. You know, uh, I believe we are on the safer side when you look at the injury crisis. I think we're only missing out on Esugo, which to me, I've talked about it this afternoon. To me, I feel like we're gonna miss Esugo because we're going into a very busy schedule, which I think is the right time for him to shine as a Chelsea player. Especially when you're talking about Lincoln, Chelsea versus Lincoln, I believe is his time to kind of shine and give us a little bit of differences from that CDM. But it is what it is. It's injured. Uh, wish him quick recovery. 12 weeks, at the sideline, but hopefully he's gonna get back strong. Hopefully he's gonna get back strong. So I feel like Brentford is another game to watch out for. Last season was a roller coaster between Chelsea and Brentford. You know, uh, I think we managed to draw away to Brentford. If I can still remember, I think at home we won, But realistically, we know that Brentford over the years has been a very very massive headache for Chelsea, especially last season. Last season we got so much in trouble with Brentford last season. I remember they beat us. We were beaten in Stamford Bridge 2-1, I think, and that's another thing to look at. Because obviously you can't talk about match preview without looking at the past record of how you've really performed with these certain teams. So to me, I feel like Brentford has really be one of London threat to us. So I feel like we need to go into that game. We need to show more consistency. We need to show qualities, and of course, it's a game we can win. It's a game we can win, to be honest. And of course, when you look at Brentford at the moment, they are not really, really in that form. They're not really, really in that form. When you look at, there's a lot of changes in between Brentford. Honestly, when you look at so many players that has been, sold out. Wisa and Buemo, which is obviously one of the traits of the team. And the big loss to me, I feel like Thomas Frank leaving Brentford as well is one of the biggest loss for Brentford. I don't know how they're gonna try to manage to stay up, to be honest, but I think they are going to struggle this season. They're going to struggle this season because when you look at the kind of the stability, they sold so many players. They try to bring in some couple of players, but obviously you can't. To me, you can't just compare. You can't compare, players like Mbeumo and Wisa. To be honest, they've really, really lost, one of those players that give the big six threat. So I feel like it's another game to win. We have so much advantage at this point to win over Brentford. And I'm so much confident that we can go into that game and, of course, win. So, guys, I don't know what you guys are thinking about the game. So, if you put what you think about, in the comment section, and we can go on from there, to be honest. Let's have a chat. What do you guys feel we need to do against Brentford? Last season it was a roller coaster. A draw at Stamford Bridge, and I think a win at Stamford Bridge and a draw at Brentford. So to me, I'm seeing that game as another game where players just need to put in performance. But when you look at we just coming from international break, to me, I feel like it's going to be a challenging game because we all know Brentford. They've got a very small match pitch. I don't know how Chelsea fans are going to fit into that atmosphere. But regardless, I feel like the most important thing is we've got the players back. We're lucky, Estival is still very fit. We're lucky Pedro Neto is still very fit. We're lucky. Obviously, we can also have Palmer back. We can also have Palmer back. We need to wait till tomorrow to know what's going on in the from the conference. Maresca is going to drop his conference obviously tomorrow morning, and from there we can know what's going on. We can know what's going on tomorrow. So, but to me, I feel like I think we can get a 3 point tomorrow. It just depends on how Maresca approach this game because sometimes I feel like we struggled so much when we're coming back from international break. I think that was what happened to us last season during the Christmas time. Players went on international break, and when they back, everything was just downfall, man. Everything was downfall. And looking at the past record, I think we struggle a little bit when we go on international break, under Maresca, which I think is something that we need to improve in. So I think Maresca needs to look into this. Why is it that every time that players go back into international break, we are always underperform? So I think it's just one thing that Maresca needs to look into as well. Why are the players underperforming when they're coming back from international break? So, but I want to believe that there's going to be a changes. I want to believe that Maresca is going to approach this game in a different way. I don't see us really defending against Brentford. I feel us going all out there, to get the 3 points, honestly, because week 4 of the Premier League, we need to keep hitting the ground running. And of course, I don't see any big deal of getting that 3 point. My so much concern is how we've started game this season. To be honest, we've not started games too well this season. We've started so bad, so terrible against West Ham. I mean, that goal to me, if I had to summarize the 3 games so far, that goal is disgusting. It's disgraceful, to be honest. And to me, I don't want to see that sort of performance against Brentford because obviously you are playing in Premier League. you can't just underrate any football team between the 20 team that are participating in Premier League. So to be honest, I think we need to start that game very well. We need to start with high intensity, go into the game, attack Brentford, and in the first 10 minutes, let's score a goal. Then we start playing, we start going along with our game. But if we start that game the way we did against West Ham, I believe we are in massive, massive trouble. We are in massive, massive trouble because when you play that way, you are open to conceding a goal. And that's what happened against West Ham. We started the game very, very poor. West Ham were able to get, they save in the game. And of course, they hit the jackpot. And that's how it works. If you, as a big team that's got upper hand, that's got the players that can start the game in the next 10, 5 minutes and make a changes, then how do you want to win Brentford? So to me, I feel like it's another game to go all out there to make a difference. To make a difference, at least we all know the problem is starting the game very well. And this is what we need to work into. I mean, first 10 minutes against Brentford must be different. Must be different to me if we want to show that agility of winning something this season because we've started games very, very poor. The last time I think we started game very well was against AC Milan, but starting this season, bro, it's been horrible, man. It's been horrible. So I think we need to go into Brentford game and change our perception, change our perspective. Try to start the game in the first 10 minutes. Make sure you score Brentford. And that's how you keep going into that game and make something happen, to be honest. So I feel like we've got probably we're getting Palmer back. I don't know what's the latest on Palmer. We don't know if he's ready for the game, if he's gonna start or if he's gonna come on or something like that. But realistically, I feel like we've had enough of players to go into Brentford game. So guys, let's quickly talk about of course, recent head-to-head record, Chelsea versus Brentford. So in the recent years, we've played 12 games since 2013 when Brentford came back into the Premier League, and of course, Brentford has won 3 games, and of course, Chelsea has won 5 games, and we have total draw of 4 games. So to me, I think this is a very good, head-to-head. Though Brentford were still able to win 3 games from 13 games, from 12 games, Chelsea were able to win 5 games, and of course, we've drawn 4 out of the 12. So to me, I feel like they still look like a threat to me. To be honest, they still very much look like a threat to me. And of course, let's talk about last 5 games that Brentford has played. The last 5 games they played against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Sorry, guys, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but of course, it was a draw 2-2, and that was a preseason game. And they went ahead to play Nottingham Forest. They lost to Nottingham Forest 3-1. And they went on to play Aston Villa at home. They've won 1-0 to Aston Villa. They played away to Bournemouth in Carabao Cup. They won Bournemouth 2-0. And this is the reason why I keep saying that we need to be careful. Sorry. This guy might have lost one of them prolific player they've got. They might have lost their coach as well, but they still have all it takes to win games. So they've played almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games this season. They've managed to win 2 games, and of course lose 2 games and draw one. So to me, they still look like a threat. They still look like a threat. So I still believe that Chelsea needs to go into that game with the mindset of winning, because these days it's shocking to see how any team can come and of course challenge you. So to me, I feel like it's another game that we need to try and make sure we get it right. To be honest, so because if we mess around against Brentford, to me, I feel like we are in a massive, massive trouble. The thing is, I just don't want us to drop, a point at this level. I want us to keep going, keep, scoring goals, keep winning games, and of course, we see where we can, we can find ourselves at the end of December, and then we can judge if we probably are in title race or probably, you know, we just need to keep getting the 3 points. To be honest, because I feel like Brentford is a very good opportunity to start this month. If we can able to push forward and win Brentford, Then we know we're going to United next. I think we're going to United. Oh, we're going to Bayern Munich next. Then we can try and get a result from Bayern Munich, which I still really much believe in. And then the weekend we go to United. We play Lincoln City. We play. I mean, it's just a lot. So if we don't start winning games from Saturday, to me, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a busy month for us. It's gonna be a busy month for us. So I think we need to start the momentum going against Brentford. If we can get a 3 point, good performance from Brentford, of course we can easily move forward, man. We can easily move forward, and we know how it works. We know how it works. You need to win a game. You need to be in a in a running streak before you can face a team like Bayern Munich. So if you go to Brentford and mess around, I'm sorry, Bayern Munich is gonna be one of the toughest games for you. So to me, I feel like Brentford is just like a refreshment for us to start all over, win against Brentford, and of course, you can go ahead to Munich and to prove them wrong. So to me, I feel like it's a game that we need to go in there and of course bring out a very good result from. So guys, let me know what you're thinking about, Chelsea versus Brentford. What you think we need to do to win Brentford. I've tried to say, a couple of things that I feel like we need to do. We need to, work on starting games too slow. We need to work on all days to make sure that we get a goal in the first 10 minutes. And obviously, I think Maresca needs to, to look into this reality. To me, I feel like the way we start games is just unbelievable. It's just not acceptable, to be honest. As a Chelsea, if we want to continue to win games, we need to start a game with, you know, a very high intensity. What happened against West Ham is not just something that we want to see in every game. And I've said this: if we keep going into games that way, we're gonna get in trouble. You can't play that way against Bayern Munich. If you play that way against Bayern Munich, you definitely are getting behind 2, 3 goals. And imagine, how do you want to come back? Imagine you are losing 3-0 to Bayern Munich. How do you want to make it? So I feel like Brentford is another game to try and make sure that we get our rhythm back. Let's start the game with a massive, massive, press. Let's score the goal between the 10 minutes. And of course, we can win the game easily. I don't really see Brentford as a threat. But if we don't go into that game with a good mindset, I'm sorry, bro, we might find ourselves in a big shit because every Premier League team is there to win. You know, every Premier League team is there to shock you week in, week out. So to me, I feel like it's not it's a must win game. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. It's a must win games. I know we're struggling with a couple of injuries, Colwill, Esugo, and of course some couple of other players. But to me, I feel like we still have all it takes to beat Brentford. So I think we don't have any reason to rest players against Brentford. I believe in week in, week out game. I don't really believe in resting players for another game. I believe in going into every game with the mindset of winning. I so much understand the fact that when you're playing the team, like when you're playing in the kind of Carabao Cup and all this FA Cup and all, you might probably be thinking of rotating players. But in Premier League, I believe we need to go all out there and just make the 3 point count. It's still very much early, of the season. We can't start mess around. And one thing I keep saying is, I believe personally that the performance during the first phase of last season Premier League really, really helped us in terms of qualifying for Champions League. If we are to judge with what we've played in the Christmas time till the end of the season, I believe we will not finishing anything lesser than 10th in the position in the table. So to me, I feel like everything still look very, very fresh. Players are still in. Some players, couple of players are injured, but this is the right time to hit the jackpot. Let's keep getting the 3 points as we move forward. Then, of course, before December, we can gradually look at things and say, oh, come on, Chelsea are in the title race. Or probably looking at ourselves in, sort of, a very, 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 very close. That's what I'm just trying to talk about. But if you start dropping points against teams like Brentford, I was so devastated to see us drop points against Crystal Palace. To be honest, first game of the season was supposed to be a win for us at Stamford Bridge. But honestly, it is what it is. We have to keep going Our next game at home is Brighton, which I am rooting for Chelsea to win. I'm rooting for us to win by all means. It's a home game. We definitely need to win our home game. There's no reason why we are losing or drawing to home games, to be honest. So Brentford on Saturday is another game for us, another opportunity for us to make sure that we keep getting the 3 points. Because when you look at the table, no one is definitely waiting for anyone. If we drop a point against Brentford, I feel like we definitely will find ourselves in a situation where we don't like. So to me, I feel like there's high hope, there's high expectation. Chelsea fan and hope there. Everybody is expecting us to win week in, week out. So to me, I feel like there's no sort of space for us to loiter around. To be honest, we've really done really well in the transfer window, except some couple of things that I personally think we should have done better. We should have done better. To me, I feel like we should have gotten a new midfielder just to support the boys. Because when you look at the depth of the games that we're going to be playing, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think we're so lucky for Argentina to realize the fact that uh, we can't, the fact that they try to realize that Enzo Fernandez cannot play every game. I do much appreciate that. At least he can look fresh, he can look, ready to come in and, of course, make a difference for us, to be honest. So, what I'm trying to say is that I think we've got enough fresh leg to go into Brentford game to make something out of it. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think we need to do differently? What do you think we need to kind of, put in to win into Brentford? Wisa and Buemo, these two guys, these two dangerous guys, have left Brentford. Of course, they've lost their manager as well. We looks like a more favorite club to win this game. So, guys, what do you guys think about this game on Saturday? To be honest, I'm waiting for you guys to make comments and let's kick it up from there. That's how we can make it a lively life for us, for ourselves. So, guys, let me know. I think we're a few on the live stream. I'm expecting a couple of comments from you guys, and of course, we can move on from there. So for me, I think I believe we need to go into that game with a very solid formation. Of course, I believe Sanchez can, of course, start from the goalpost. We don't have any other goalkeeper to replace Sanchez at the moment, so he still remain our favorite, to be honest. And I think, well, I would say that, and one thing I used to say is I would always start Reece James. I don't care what Maresca think. I don't care what's going to do, but I feel like a captain, as long as you have faith, needs to start a game. Needs to start a game. I believe they need to start a game. So, to me, I would say I'm gonna start Reece James. I'm gonna start Chaloba Tosin. I know Fofana is fit, but to be honest, when you look at the way we need to try and manage Fofana now, I think it's just on another level. To be honest, we need to try as much as possible to manage Fofana, and that's the only way to run him out of his contract. If not, I'm not seeing us selling Fofana, to be honest, because of course we need those backups from the central back. So I wouldn't rush him tomorrow against Brentford. I'll start Chaluba, I'll start Tosin. Then of course I'm still kind of contemplating on starting Cucurella, to be honest. I feel like, wasn't it the right time for Ato to step in? I think it's the right time for Ato to step in, to make a difference. To me, I feel like Corella is playing too much of games. We need to protect him. We need to protect him from having injured. When you have very very serious fixtures coming in, the likes of Bayern Munich, Manchester United, and Hull, you don't want these players to get injured because they've got at least the required experience to play these games. So to me, I feel like Brentford should be a game where Ato should start. Where Ato should definitely start. These guys they've been in Cobham training week in, week out. So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't, give him a chance, against Brentford. If he can be playing in that sort of how do I say it, in that sort of situation in Monaco, I think he should be able to possibly fit in against Brentford. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't start him tomorrow. At least just to give Cucurella a sort of space, a sort of rest. I mean, but the only thing I would say about that, if we are starting Arto from the left back, it definitely won't be inverting. We probably will be inverting from the right back just to make sure that there's some stability and we don't rush him too much into inverting movement. I don't see him as a player that is quite good in terms of inverting, so I'd rather use him and make sure he sit back, just to follow up the game. So from the central defender, honestly, I won't lie to you. I wish I had an option, and I won't be able to start Casado, to be honest, because I feel like he's just playing too much of games. We need to find a way around it. We need to find a way to make sure that Casado gets the rest. The rest that he deserves. To be honest, I think I think he's playing too much of games. I think we need to find a way to manage him as well. We can't play him every game, and that's why I'm so much devastated regarding Esugo injury. To be honest, I feel like he will have been in a very very good position to make changes. Oh, sorry guys. As well, we know Lavia is back, but honestly, I don't see us throwing Lavia back into that game. I don't see us throwing Lavia back into that game. I feel like he's a player that can maybe make a difference, but having seen him coming back from injury, you don't want to rush him. You don't want to rush him into the game. So tomorrow I don't think we've got any other option than to start Casado straight away, back again into it, you know. But I just hope that he keeps fit. If not, I believe we are in a very, very bad shape, especially playing Bayern Munich, Manchester United, and all these games coming up. So I think, of course, Casado from the CDM as usual, Enzo Fernandez. I feel like Enzo Fernandez should be in a very good position to play this game. Doesn't really get much involvement in international break, which I feel like should be ready to play against Brentford. Should be ready to play against Brentford. So, and I mean, Cole Palmer, I think it's gonna start. I think it's gonna start on Saturday. It looks like they're trying to, hiding him somehow because I've not been seeing his pictures all around in the training. I can see a couple of pictures in training, but honestly, I think Maresca might be trying to, think of not starting him against Brentford, maybe him coming in between the games. But the reality is, who is gonna start as a number 10? If you want to start Joao Pedro from the number 10, definitely you are ready to throw McGee into the front line. And to me, I feel like, does it really work that way? Do you want to throw McGee just like that into the top nine? I don't know. So to me, I feel like, in my own opinion, I hope Palmer is fit. I want to see him playing from the number 10 role against Brentford. Of course, Esteval from the right flank, Pedro Neto from the left flank, and of course, Joao Pedro, from the top nine, and we'll see how it goes from there. We can kick off, we can keep up, and of course, get a very reasonable result from that. But if not, if there will be a changes, I believe, uh, you know, I believe that should work out tomorrow. To be honest, I don't know what you guys are thinking. What are you gonna change from this starting X side that I've just mentioned? I know everybody has got their thought. Everybody have got what they think is right. But to me, I think if we go onto this formation against Brentford, we should be able to get a result out of it. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I think we should be able to, win Brentford on Saturday, and I am predicting Chelsea to win, of course, 4-1 against Brentford. So I don't know what you guys are thinking. What's your score prediction against Brentford? But for me, I think we should be successfully winning that game. We should be able to score more goals because I see Esteval scoring on Saturday. And to be honest, I see him scoring two goals on Saturdays. I see Pedro Neto, Joao Pedro scoring a brace as well on Saturday, and of course, I'm gonna leave the fourth goal into anybody that got it. Maybe Pedro Neto, or maybe Enzo Fernandez. Who knows? Maybe Joao Pedro. I mean, maybe Casado. Who knows? So hopefully we'll see what goes around on Saturday. Guys, that's where we're gonna put a stop to it for tonight. So much appreciative for everyone that has joined this live. We hope on to the next one we're gonna have so much engagement, because obviously a live stream is where you can obviously interact with people, get their own opinion, but we know as we keep going, people will definitely join us. And of course, we want to keep doing this every week in, week out. Come down here, have an interaction with the fans. Let's know what you guys have got in mind and all these things. So big shout out to everyone that has joined the live stream tonight. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing as a family. With YouTube has always recommend the videos when you like, when you subscribe, and it keeps saying most of the people that are watching the videos are not subscribing. Guys, please, that's the only way you can help Blues TV. That's the only way the Blues TV can grow. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing as a family. And of course, I will see you on to the next one. We bleed blue. We believe in blue, and forever Chelsea. Come on, guys. I'll see you on to the next one. Peace.